Welcome to the Wellness and Wahala podcast. This is a podcast for wellness and Wahala warriors who are a winner, world changer, wise, and winsome. They are dedicated to tackling Wahala, which means issues and problems in Nigerian pidgin for the good of humanity. Our tribe of subject matter experts in our village are a voice to the voiceless. Like you know, the African proverb, it says it takes a village. So we have a tribe of supporters that we will be interviewing on our show. Oya, join me, the former diplomat and public health advisor, Dr. Tomi-Omo, better known as Omo Oba, as I give you the best public health and wellness and Wahala gist with wonderful people and guests, my VIPs, using their compassion to take action to put us on a pathway to a Wahala-free life. Bless up. Waiting day happen is your girl, Dr. Tomi, better known as Omo Oba, and you're at the Wellness and Wahala podcast. For those of you tuning in for the first time, Wahala in Nigerian Pidgin English means issues and problems, and I go drop you great wellness, public health gist, and current affairs, and how to avoid various wahalas. You understand? Today, where we talk about International Migrants Day. It is celebrated every December 18th. The United Nations marked December 18th as International Migrants Day. So let me drop some statistics for you all. Okay, many of us are like me. I'm a first generation Nigerian American. My parents migrated from Nigeria. They were on a federal government scholarship. They came here to further their education. They were sponsored by the Nigerian government to attend my dad, University of Illinois in Chicago for his engineering degree. So many people migrate for different reasons, because of war, peace and security, for improved livelihoods. But some migrate in very, very harsh conditions. So let me drop some facts. Since 2014, more than 50,000 migrants have lost their lives on migration routes across the world. So many people migrate illegally through, very desperate conditions because, they're afraid to be killed. They're trying to escape a civil war. They're internally displaced because of terrorism and so forth. So people, risk their lives and their children, going on boats, that are not stable and just migrating in different unsafe transportation conditions. Some have been victims of sex trafficking and rape and kidnapping. It's been a mess, a hot mess. Since 2014, more than 50,000 migrants have lost their lives. And that's the one that's on record, though, because there's many that have lost their lives and has not been documented. And in 2020, over 281 million people were international migrants. You hear me? Over 281 million people were international migrants, while over 59 people were internally displaced by the end of 2021. And I can speak on at least a lot of the works that I did in internally displaced person IDP camps in Nigeria. Because of the terrorist groups, Boko Haram and terrorism that's going on in the northeastern part of Nigeria, over 2-3 million people have been internally displaced in Nigeria alone. Do you understand? So if you're talking globally, that 59 million people, you understand? And I'm sure it's even more than that. That's the one that they have documented. Or we don't know the numbers that have been undocumented or people that have migrated and, they have been killed and their bodies disappeared. You understand? And so that number, of course, is just an estimate, but that is a lot. So this is the celebration of International Migrants Day, we are all migrants, even here in America. Then the real Native Americans are, Native American Indians and tribes. They are the real Americans. Everybody else, we have all migrated. We're all, global citizens, and we migrate. Some for positive reasons and some because of bad reasons like war and, they're risking their lives. Some for improved livelihood, for education. But a lot of people migrate, and they bring a lot of great skills to the nations that they're migrating to, and contribute to as far as culture and language and just diversity. And we're, all God's children, in my opinion. So migration is actually good, but it has to be done in a proper and safe way. So according to the United Nations, in recent years, conflict, insecurity, and the effects of climate change, war, and conflict have heavily contributed to the forced movement, whether within countries or across borders, y'all. As I told y'all before, in 2020, over 281 million people were international migrants, and over 59 million people were internally displaced by the end of 2021. And of course, it's 2022 now. We're going to 2023. That number is greater than what it is now. Regardless of the reasons that compel people to move, migrants and displaced people represent some of the most vulnerable, marginalized groups in society and are often exposed to abuse, exploitation, violence, all types of nonsense, and have limited access to essential services like good health care, and are faced with a lot of attacks and stigma and discrimination, trafficking, and so forth. On the other hand, many migrants are often in temporary, informal, or unprotected jobs, which expose them to greater risk of insecurity, layoffs, and poor working conditions if they're undocumented. And due to persistent lack of safe and regular migration pathways, millions continue to make, very dangerous journeys each year because of what they're going through in their current nation. They risk their lives and even that of their children just to have an opportunity to come to a better place. Since 2014, more than 50,000 migrants, as I told you before, have lost their lives. Despite this, migrants have proven to be a source of prosperity, innovation, and sustainable development to countries and origins. And a lot of the host countries, they bring a lot of skills. Their financial contribution through remittance offers a lifeline to families and support local markets, especially those of low and middle income countries, while their role in the labor markets remain invaluable, as evident of the front line of the COVID-19 Wahala pandemic response. You guys, these past 2 years have not been easy. And a lot of people have migrated because of poor economic decisions and uncertainty of their nations, poor leaders, political leaders, and, civil war. And of course, no good access to health care. And it's just been a mess. And, people have lost their jobs, their livelihoods. So businesses have closed down during the pandemic. It's just been a lot of hardship. So a lot of reasons why people even migrate within the country. Many people have migrated from state to state, not even just, out of your country, but you might say, oh, I want to migrate to a better community, or from the rural area to the city. So when people migrate, they bring knowledge, they bring their network, their skills, which greatly contribute to the development and resilience of any community and nation. So there's a lot of benefits of helping those that come and migrate, that have skills, and they can contribute their time, talent, and treasures to building our society together. As once again, we're all God's children, and we're all global citizens. We all contribute to society. And we've all been created for such a time as this. We have unique skills, each and every one of us. So an additional thing that the United Nations pointed out, strengthening the contributions of migrants to sustainable development requires collective efforts to improve the governance of migration and addressing the challenges migrants face. The Global Compact for Safe, Orderly, and Regular Migration, GCM, offers the opportunity and guidance to actualize human mobility and seize the opportunities it presents. So we need to seize the opportunities of this being a diverse nation. Many people have migrated. Once again, here in America, I'm speaking of that the real Native Americans are American Indians. If you're not Indian, American, Native Indian, you're a migrant. Okay. So how can we all benefit from our diversity and contribute to even helping those that have recently migrated and they're facing challenges? Like I'm part of an organization, Nigerian and Diaspora Organization, South Savannah, and we're partnering with a homeless shelter and a migrant shelter that has migrants and those that are homeless or those that might have been victims of trafficking or violence or just vulnerable people in our society. So we're putting together care packets for the holiday, things that they need, and just to show love, this season. And that gets me to my next topic. As yesterday, I was going to drop my episode yesterday, but I was just in the state of shock. Everybody knows the famous DJ Twitch. He was the DJ for Ellen DeGeneres show, and he's always dancing. Even a couple of days ago, he was dancing with his wife on Instagram, and they said only 40 years old, y'all, and that, he committed suicide. A lot of people are going through a lot, and people that seem to be strong, as for I say, suffering and smiling, they suffer, but as that we're smiling to the world, but they suffer and go through a lot of wahala with it. Everybody has a battle and some type of, wahala that they're dealing with. But I'm going to tell y'all the truth. My secret sauce is seeking God. Matthew 6:33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything else shall be added. My relationship with God is what has kept me strong. I'm no better than anybody else that says, you know what, I'm done. Do you understand? What has kept me standing is God and having the right type of people in your network. For example, in your office, you don't have to just deal with like the typical people that you work with. There's employee organizations, groups of people that have similar, values. I'm part of an organization called Blacks in Government, YPN, Young Professional Network, and also African Public Health Professionals. These are people that I have networked with professionally, but I have gained great personal friends. When something is not going on with me, or they haven't heard from me, or there's a crisis that's happened, they'll check up on me. Or you okay? I remember, one time I was not feeling well. They sent me, a care package, some medicine and some goodies, and just get well soon for me and my daughter. I mean, that I would have never had that type of support if I didn't join like these type of associations. I'm also part of a Nigerian and Diaspora Organization, South Savannah group, and so many other groups, faith-based groups. You can be a part of a church community. Just find your clique, find your tribe, y'all, find your tribe. And those should be the people that support you, that check up on you, not just hanging out during the good times and turning up, but they are there for you. They didn't hear from you today. They go text you. They go call you. Wait till that happen. Where you did? Hope everything is okay. Do you understand? If you just need to vent, they go listen. Do you understand? They go pray for you. Those are the people that you need to find, your tribe. You understand? And most importantly, sometimes you're even frustrated that sometimes you can't even pray. You can't even pick up the phone. You don't even want to answer anybody that call you. And that is the time. One time my daughter gave me a very good advice that helps me with my mental health is, I just turn on some praise music, some really nice music. Do you understand? Whatever music you like, whatever genre that just, makes your spirit just tingle. That's the one that I put on. And I'm just like, yes. You understand? And then I'm able, that spirit of depression or oppression and anger and sadness, it just flees. But you need to know what works for you, y'all. So I'm going to drop some links. If you don't have anybody to talk to, they have like free suicide prevention hotlines that you can call 24/7. And there's, of course, a playlist like my sister TT Low Key Afrobeat. I love Afrobeat. So if I want some upbeat, I got that playlist. So I'll drop links, to some of my favorite artists and gospel singers. Yeah, I'm like, yes, today, that's, I want to lift up my spirits. You understand? So Jehovah Jireh, the Lord my provider. So that one, by Limo Blaze and Lecrae, that's one of my favorites. That, if I want to just ginger my spirits, and I know that God is going to provide, I pray that one. You understand? So those are the things that you need to know. You need to find your tribe. Check up on your tribe. Do you understand? Check up on our people, and especially the ones that you think that are strong. Because, especially in our community as Africans, as blacks, we don't like to show that we're weak, especially if you're a firstborn like me. You understand? The younger ones, you want to show that everything is okay. Even though they suffer inside. Do you understand? They smile. Fela said it. Fela Kuti. Everybody, they suffer and smile. Look, everybody, they go through some type of wahala or the next. Never give up. You understand? With God, all things are possible. There is a rainbow, at the end of the storm. God said, weeping may endure in the night, but joy cometh in the morning. Our joy season is here. Just start praising God in faith in advance that tomorrow is going to be better than any wahala that you're facing today. Okay? So, another thing that I wanted to tell you is that this is a season where a lot of people are like, oh, what you gonna buy me? What you gonna buy me? Let me tell you, you need to take some time off, rest, travel. Matter of fact, one of my favorite travel agents for free, Twin Travel Agency, I go drop the link also for high. If you want to travel this holiday, you want the best deals, best resorts. Like I like all-inclusive resorts, drinks and food, unlimited, free. Do you understand? I'm on the beach just chilling. That's when I can meditate and everything. Look out at, God's creation on the beach and nature and just relax and just thank God for, and just be in awe of like all that he created, just leave and just learn. Like America is so that, but you haven't been, I'm pretty sure, to all 50 states in America and territories and tribes. You understand? So travel, even if you can't do international, domestic travel, you can take a road trip. Just go, sometimes you just want, look, okay, let me go. And, there's sometimes I'll just say, me and my daughter, we're like, okay, we just going to check into a nice hotel, just chill and have, a staycation or, take a quick road trip somewhere, or go out, for an outing. Just something that's basic, like, roll it up, smoky ice cream. Like we haven't had that in like a year. I told her today, and she was like, Mom, we gotta. I'm like, okay, we're gonna have a ice cream date soon. You know what I'm saying? Something just to ginger your spirits. You understand? That you enjoy. Wait till they enjoy. Do you understand? And then help others this season. Another way to heal is that know that other people are going through stress, So I am also participating in a homeless outreach with, as I said, Nigerian Diaspora Organization South Savannah. We're partnering with a shelter in Savannah that helps out migrants and those that are, former drug addicts and those that have been victims of trafficking and all types of like violence and just homeless and just need help. So we're putting together care packets to give to them. And, is something that is very, very beneficial, using your time, your talent, and your treasure to serve others. And in helping others is really helping you. You know what I'm saying? To look at the perspective of why am I created for such a time as this? It's not about what I can get. Do you understand? It's the blessing is in giving. It's not in taking. So how can you give up your time, your talent, and your treasure this holiday season to your family members, to your community, and to your nation? Think about ways where You can use your skills, your time, your talent. It's not all about money. You can volunteer to go feed at a shelter. You can go volunteer to go clean at an elderly home, and play games, bingo games with the elderly. You can do different things. Do you understand? That will not cost you a dime. That will help others. So those are the things that I go let you know, and I'll drop the link to that organization. If you're in Savannah, if you want to volunteer and come join us for the holiday season for the outreach, let me know. Reach out. It's in partnership with Wellness and Wahala Podcast. So also, I wanted to say that this is a time of, end of year. I look back, I'm like, okay, how can I improve my skills going into the new year? There's other trainings, YALI, Young African Leadership Initiative. They have great trainings on grants management, program management, financial management skills. I want to improve my skills. So every time, you should learn, increase in wisdom. And this week also, on another note, is the U.S. Africa Leadership Summit, the 3-day summit in DC. I've been tuning in virtually online. It has been thebomb.com. I'm going to drop links. So even if you missed it, they have it recorded, all the sessions, and it's on the Department of State YouTube channel. So I will drop links to that U.S. Africa Leadership Summit. This is the first one in a while because of the pandemic. People have been, meeting virtually, but this has been a hybrid one where, they had people go in person. I couldn't attend. I wanted to attend, but I was able to participate virtually for some of the great sessions, and I'll go back for some of the sessions that I missed since it was recorded. So I will drop that link. And y'all, I'm going to leave you with the African proverb of the week, y'all. And the African proverb of the week comes from, of course, Nigeria, the giants of Africa. And it says, even among ants, there are giants. Once again, the African proverb of the week is from Nigeria, my native country, known as the giants of Africa. That says, even among ants, there are giants. Okay. All of y'all are giants in your own way. So big salute to you. Once again, you have, the power to use your time, talent, and treasure to be a blessing to someone in this season. So be a blessing. The song that I'm going to leave you with is one of my favorite songs, part of a project that I was a part of, a Grow Campaign project. And my sister, of course, TT Low-Key, the Afro Trap Queen, is on here, along with other Afrobeat top artists across West Africa, from TT Low-Key to Two-Face to Sound Sultan, rest in peace to Baba Mile, to so many, both Francophone and Anglophone speaking African Afrobeat artists. And the song is called Where's My 10%? Because a couple of years ago in Maputo, Mozambique, all 54 African heads of state signed a pledge that they're going to dedicate 10% of their national budget towards agriculture, food security, and nutrition. However, after 10 years, only about 5 of them kept their pledge. Nigeria, I don't even think we were up to like 3%. So we now got celebrity ambassadors, as I said, TT Low-Key, Two-Face, and so forth, to come up with a song called Where's My 10%? We did an online petition. We wanted to get 100,000 signatures, but because a lot of these artists have millions of followers, we were able to get 2 million signatures, represent the Maputo pledge to the African heads of state at the African Union a couple of years ago, and they re-signed the pledge. And that has helped increase a lot of the African nations. I think it's about 10 or 12 nations now out of the 54. So it has increased, but we still have a long way to go where all the African nations would dedicate 10% of their national budget towards poverty alleviation, agriculture, and food security. And, Africa is like the food basket nation of the world. And we're very blessed with, good soil and organic foods and land. But, they have not put in enough investments to transform the agriculture sector, which can really help alleviate a lot of poverty and hunger. So on that note, I will leave you with that song. But before that, for my people in Nigeria, the elections is coming up in February. Please, 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 if you have not got your PVC, your voter's card, go and vote. And make sure that you vote your conscience, vote for the right leaders, because this is a time where can make or break our nation. We're at a critical turning point for Nigeria, the giants of Africa. We need to redeem our name. That Nigeria is the most populated African black nation in the world. Over 200 million people, diverse people, and we are stunners. However, we need great leaders. We've had horrible leaders in over 60 years. So we really need the right leaders. So that means that everybody has their responsibility back at home to make sure that if you're of age, you need to register to vote, get your PVC cards, go on INEC, make sure that you know your voting location, okay, and register others in your community and your family, especially those that are elderly, disabled, those that might have issues, or maybe they're first time voters, help them register also, and go to the INEC website and make sure that you know your location on that day, and monitor, and make sure that your vote counts. Okay. If you don't vote, then you ain't got no right, in your democracy. You don't have no right to complain if you don't be active citizens and do your part and vote right. Vote for the right God-fearing leader that's going to help lead and lead Nigeria, the giants of Africa, in the right direction. All of us, have been in the Nigerian diaspora organization here. We've been pushing for absentee voting and diaspora voting. So hopefully in this new tenure, this new president and leadership that is coming, we're able to advocate to get the diaspora voting bill passed, because we should, and a lot of other African countries have been able to let their African diaspora be able to vote virtually. So we should be able to also do that, hopefully, in the future, and let our voice count. But our people back at home, you have no excuse. Do you understand? Go and make sure that you get your PVC, your voting cards. Make sure that you know where you're supposed to go to vote, your voting station and location on the INEC website, and I'll also drop that link. So thank you once again for tuning in this week. I wish you much love and blessing, and I will play now the Where Is My 10% song, because look, all of us, okay, deserve a better Africa, a better world, okay? And it starts, change starts with me and you. So I wish you Wahala this week. Much love and blessing. Happy holidays.
Money day, but we can't feed the kids. Why is this? Oh yeah, tell me why is this? You made a promise, now stick to it. 10% of $1 billion will feed 1 million. If we invest in farming women who grow food for the children, no one in this world should go hungry. Why beg for help outside the country when we had the best resource in Ireland? You heard us cry, now the power's in your hands. So tell me what you gonna do about it? Stick to your promises, time for a change. Or y'all join hands, rejoice in the rain. Our time is now, no more hunger pains.
14% de budget national, 70% dépendance internationale. Améliorer la qualité de l'investissement, réduire la pauvreté, comment faire autrement? Le secteur rural, c'est 30% de bénéfices bruts. Burkinabé, comprends-tu ma lutte? Monsieur le Président, revoyez le financement, ce pays repose sur le pôle des paysans. I've been going for a minute, but the real is back. Been through it all to know the fact. If you stay in your hustle, you be with a jet of that. And what drive me insane to see your grown man pending his faith on another grown man. Daddy told me, you don't work, you don't eat. And the street showed me, you don't grind, you don't shine. So forget the government, I'ma work, I'ma grind.
Soon, more shake your daddy. But you like a bassoon, that's a boy daddy. suñu jooy lekk wala naan koppar gi ñuy xëpp ci ay kaat-kaat buñ ko defee ci mbay mi réew mi dana naat suñu ciin dana fees njaboot gi yàq ba mu des ñu mën a dundal suñuy sët ak i sëtaat sinna min wanno gardiɗo onuna amen namɗo lamɓe heddiɓe ɓe sono 10%. Maja men a mawni sono 10%. Sagataga ben ene jiɗirem de leydi men.
Comment veux-tu que mon peuple soit rassasié si les politiques agricoles sont mal adaptées? Les grandes puissances ne pensent qu'à tout épuiser. Climat déréglé, l'air et l'eau polluée. Ici la mode c'est la course aux intérêts. Gagner plus, consommer plus, leur priorité. Laissant les plus pauvres dans plus de pauvreté. Nos paysans se cassent le dos pour cultiver.
We gotta do something now, but everybody's asking how. Ooh, my brother, my sister, talk to the man in charge and say, there's so much confusion, we gotta find a solution. The people starving as we speak, they gotta practice what they preach. Africa is you and me, Africa is you and me, Africa is you and me.
Sono 10%.
Maja men a mawni sono 10%. Sagataga ben ene jiɗirem de leydi men.
I'ma give you your survival kid. Do it on your own, hold the profit. Hey, you say you about your pocket, blah blah. If it goes, bruh, stop it. I'ma give you your survival kid. Do it on your own, hold the profit. Hey, you say you about your pocket, blah blah. If it goes, bruh, stop it.
Africa, where I'm from, we got many people dying. No solutions, problem plenty, oh many people starving. Looking on the government to take all the pain away. Never let their promises break, and after all the rain, I cry. Oh, why do everybody fold their hands and watch their brother die? We'll grow if you show the will to make a change right before the eye.
Bu kenn des nañu bay ci tool yi dugub ceeb gerte mooy suqali koom bi li ñu mën a génne jële ci ndóol bi liggéey suñu suuf mu feeñ ci bool bi jigéen di bor ana 10% yi ñaata gouvernement ñoo nar beddi son bi def xaalis jumtukaay ne béykat bi kaay jox ko du aay loo ko jox mu meññi waay.
Sinna min wanno gardiɗo onuna amen namɗo lamɓe heddiɓe ɓe
Sono 10%.
Maja men a mawni sono 10%. Sagataga ben ene jiɗirem de leydi men.
You see, a hungry man is an angry man. This is what we must understand.